Hi, ladies. Let's talk about eating to mask our feelings, or eating to celebrate, or eating when we feel overwhelmed. I think that if you were an overeater, somebody experienced with eating when you're not necessarily hungry, you could relate to all of those things. So when it comes to treating ourselves with food, right, this is super common. Treating ourselves with food or alcohol, right, it's a treat, right, in the short term, but it doesn't necessarily treat ourselves, okay? It doesn't get us any closer to our goals when we celebrate something or decide that we deserve something because we've done something great or been great or had a good day or maybe coming off of a high day or whatever, right? When in those situations, we have to think about whether or not that treat is going to get us closer to the end goal, okay? And usually it doesn't, right? It's not going to. That sugary treat or that whatever, those chips, whatever it is that you think about or want when you're trying to celebrate, right, is probably not going to get us closer to that end goal. So my suggestion to you is to come up with a list of other things, other ways that you can treat yourself. So whether or not it's a massage or getting your nails done or going out and buying something, right? Buying something when you hit that 10 or 12 pound marker, or buying yourself something when you track, right? You track your macros, you track your calories for 6 months nonstop, right? Set something out. So create a list, you guys. Stop for a minute, sit down, pen and paper, create a list of ways that you can treat yourself, because this is going to come up, right? And this is all part of creating some rules of engagement and creating some new ways of going about things that it's going to make this time different than the next time, or this time different than before, right? Because before you've tried things in terms of losing weight and it hasn't worked, so we need to do something different, okay, this time around. And so the more prepared we are for situations, because situations are going to arise, right? Just like feeling overwhelmed or anxious, right? Who hasn't overate when they've felt overwhelmed, anxious, or stressed out, right? I think we've all done that. Okay. So again, in those situations, I have found the feelings are the feelings, right? Whether they're good or bad, you're going to have them. And trying to mask that with food or drink only makes for a slight distraction, right? To really, you still have to deal with those things. And so in those situations, the best thing that I have found is to give it time. So I have found, and this is my experience, you guys can let me know what your experience is though, when you feel stressed or when I feel anxious or when I'm like pissed off, all of a sudden I'm like, I'm going to the kitchen, I'm grabbing a handful of like Reese's, right? And that's it. It's not like I'm sitting in my room stewing about being mad or anxious or stressed or overwhelmed about something. An hour goes by, 2 hours goes by, and then I'm like, you know what? I'm going to eat my feelings. Now I'm going to go to the kitchen and I'm going to eat because I'm pissed off about X, Y, and Z. So what I suggest when you're feeling that way, because it's going to happen, right? And we got to be prepared. We need these tools, right, to get us through, to get us to that end goal. So in those situations, right, you set a timer. It works really well. Set a timer for 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Go for a walk. Do something to create more time in between the feelings that you're having, right, and then whatever you're going to do about them. Okay. And sometimes, and 9 times out of 10, you guys, the feelings in this situation is going to pass regardless of whether or not you eat or not. And again, if you're trying to cope and distract yourself with food and drink in these certain situations, is it going to get you closer to the goal? No. Is it going to remove that stressor, that thing that's making you feel overwhelmed? No. It's going to distract you for probably not even that long, probably 5 minutes. And then here's the kicker, ladies. And then you're going to be left with a new set of feelings, which include guilt because you've overate or you've drank or whatever to try to mask the original feeling that you had. Where if you just let some time go by and find something else, again, a walk is a great way of dealing with this. You're going to deal with that feeling, right? And let it pass. It's going to pass, or it's going to move through you, move past you. You're going to move to the next stage of these feelings, right? Regardless. And eating, again, is just going to like halt, pause, stop you dealing with this and getting over it. Not getting over it. I hate using that word. But feeling it, right? And experiencing it and then moving past it. That's it. Okay. So my suggestion, again, is to create a timer, set a timer for yourself when you're feeling that way. And I know for a lot of you, you guys, you're busy women, you've got stuff going on, you're working, you have families, you've got a lot of stresses and it's a stressful time right now in general, right? Set a timer, create some space. This could be happening every day. And guess what? It's just like everything else. It's like a muscle. You get better and better at it. You do it one night and you do it the next day, and then you do it the next day, and pretty soon you're not, I'm telling you guys, it's amazing. You don't even think about having whatever you used to have when you'd feel those feelings. Guess what? You just start being a grown-up because we're grown-up women. And we're going to be badass women in our outfits and our clothes and feeling good. So that is my tip for you guys. Hopefully it helps. Try it out. Let me know how it goes. And we'll talk to you guys tomorrow.